By the way, Jonathan, thank you so much for interpreting. I love that you guys are all doing this this time. Okay, so we've got a few more minutes. I'm gonna not take too long, but I wanted to share a little bit about where we are with the CDK, what's up, and hopefully we'll have a bit of time later for Q&A if that's going to be of interest. Let me open that slide deck first, and then I'm going to share my screen again. I hope that the Progen thing was interesting. I'm curious to hear what people think. And then, building higher level things with it is going to be the fun part, I guess. Let me share my screen. Oof. This is very... Okay, so CDK, what's up? Why should we talk about CDK, what's up? I guess it's pretty obvious, but I did want to say that still, at Amazon, we sometimes think about the CDK as open source first. And it's one of the bigger open source projects we have at Amazon. And so we're really trying to push I wouldn't even say push the boundaries, do it right. And in my mind, doing it right means that it's not just about the code, it's also about the processes that we do. It's the design processes, it's the planning processes, and this is and most of all, it's the decision making. And so the most important part for us is we want your feedback on this. It's not like this is what we're going to do and wait for it. It's more about here's what we're planning to do. Let us know if that makes sense. Let us know if we forgot something huge. Let us know if we're going in the wrong direction. Let us know if your use cases are neglected or completely ignored. Obviously, we can't do everything. It's a big project and there's more and more surface area to cover. But we are trying to prioritize. It's really hard. We're trying to make it conscious decisions about what to invest in, and your feedback is the most important part. We really do listen. We really do use all the signals that we can get from the community to make those decisions. And so please reach out. Just reach out directly to me on Slack, on Twitter, on GitHub, or to any one of the team members. We're pretty approachable and pretty accessible. And also, we're sharing what we're doing, we're sharing what we're planning, but also we all know that software is really hard, and it's very common that things don't work out the way you thought they would, and so the plans would change. And some of the things that I'm going to talk about here are not going to happen. Maybe other things are going to happen. So accept the fact that this is not our commitment to deliver a specific thing at a specific time. It's more about sharing and being visible. And so I'm just going to dive into some of the projects that we've been working on, and then I'll talk a little bit about what we're doing and we're planning for the future. And so the first thing we released this year was CDK for Go. We launched a developer preview a few weeks ago, I think the beginning of the month. It took quite a long time to build the Go bindings. It's a JSII language. I'm not going to go exactly what JSI is. If you're interested, check that out. But it's basically a language that's supported in all the CDK ecosystem. And so the fact that it's now available for AWS CDK means that we're able to release, for example, CDK for Kubernetes in Go, which is coming soon. We're going to do that pretty soon because this is, I think, the #1 request for CDK for Kubernetes. Makes sense, I guess, in the Kubernetes community. It also means that you can publish your construct libraries in Go already. And so I'm really keen to see people starting to add publishing of Go libraries to their construct libraries. And Progen supports Go publishing, so you should be able to do that today. Again, the most interesting part, this is developer preview. We really want to know if we did the right thing. And Go is unique. If you're familiar with it, it's not a standard object-oriented language, and so mapping all the idioms and type system from JSII to Go required a lot of opinion, and so we want to know if those opinions made sense and if the Go experience feels right to native Go developers. So let us know. Second thing, we already talked about it today. I know it came up a few times, is V2. And so as I said, We managed to release the developer preview of V2 today, and the team worked really hard on this. We've been working on V2 for over 6 months, to be honest. And it's weird because if you look at what is V2, it's not a lot. It's mainly just this packaging change, this experimental API removal. But it required us to like really be very intentional about what we're putting in there, how we do that without breaking V1, by continuously releasing V1, because we're not going to stop releasing V1. And so it's important to know that most of your code should work without any change, or with only the import line changes. Of course, let us know if that's not the case. It's also important to note that every new feature that we're going to release until we announce differently is going to be released both on the V1 branch and the V2 branch. Our main development is still going to be continue to be on the V1 branch. So if you're contributing code, if you're submitting PR, you can continue to do that over the V1 branch. It'll automatically propagate to V2, epsilon merge conflicts, which we all love and cherish. The third project I want to talk to you about, and I don't know, I don't think we've talked about that publicly yet, but this is something we're kicking off now, and I'm excited about. And we've been trying to like come up with some way to do that earlier, and sadly we couldn't. But finally, we're starting to build what we now call the Construct Hub. Maybe that's going to be the final name, or maybe not. But it's what you would expect it to be, basically. Nothing more, at least initially. It's going to have a search experience and a discovery experience, and then it's going to have like a package page, which shows you the package information. You're going to be able to switch which language you want to use between the languages that the package supports, and like the entire experience is going to switch up for you, including the sample code, including the reference documentation, thanks to the magic of JSII. You're going to be able to like jump over to like the package managers and see the installation instructions for each package, and even have links. Hopefully that'll work well, but even have cross references between module. And so if your module references some type from another module, hopefully you're going to be able to like even jump over between those two. And the other important thing about Construct Hub is that we're actually going to release it as a construct, the entire Construct Hub, under CDK Labs Construct Hub. And that's already a public repository. You're not going to see anything there because we've just started, literally just starting. But the idea is that you're going to be able to deploy Construct Hub internally for your team or your enterprise. And we're going to also do that internally at Amazon. And so we're hopefully going to dog food this and make sure that it's actually working. But again, we see a lot of requests for people to be able to share these constructs. We see what Liberty Mutual has done in this space, which is incredible. And so we hope to make that more accessible and available to people. We're also looking into something like having the community be part of the development. And so if you're interested in that, just join this channel on CDK Dev, and we're gonna provide some more information in the coming weeks about participation if you're interested. The next project I want to talk about is CDK Pipelines, which I hope that some of you are using. It's been quite a long time in developer preview for good reasons. We've been listening, and we've been trying to understand what's the right thing to do with it. We're converging towards the GA, so I hope that that's going to be our next launch. One of the bigger things we're going to do, and that's probably includes some breaking changes, is to decouple the API of Code Pipeline, API of CDK Pipeline from the API of Code Pipeline. If you are familiar with CDK pipelines, you know that there's some leaks from the Code Pipeline API up to the CDK Pipeline API, and that these leaks make it really hard for us to enable future developments, like being able to use CDK pipelines with different backends. So for example, as a simple use case that many of our customers are looking for is to be able to synthesize GitHub workflows from CDK pipelines, or use Jenkins, or use Circle CI, but still use the CDK pipeline's high-level capabilities of orchestrating application deployments. And so that's one of the bigger things that we're working on. And there are other things that we decided are critical before we GA. But as I said, we're converging, and hopefully that's not going to be too long. Other stuff we've been doing, and there's tons more. I just thought to highlight a few things. CDK for Kubernetes was accepted at the beginning of the year to the CNCF Foundation, to the Linux Foundation, as a sandbox project, which is extremely exciting for us. It's the first Amazon project to get accepted to that foundation, and the implications, the long-term implications, is that we are on a path to turn CDK for Kubernetes to a community-governed project, which means that decisions on what to do with the project will eventually happen in an open governance model. And as I said, it's the first time AWS is doing it, Amazon's doing it, so we're like treading slowly and carefully and making sure that we're doing it right. And if you feel we don't, then please let us know. But I'm very excited about this because I feel like this is a genuine contribution to the Kubernetes community, and I think it can benefit many teams, whether they use AWS or not. If you're not aware, we had this really cute Twitch stream show called CDK Construction Zone. It was like every 2 weeks on Tuesday. Season 1 finale is in 2 weeks. We actually couldn't do it next week, so it's going to be in 2 weeks. Stay tuned. We're going to just like bring in some of the CDK core members and have fun. And we're going to do another season because this was really awesome and really fun. And whether you watched it or not, we just had tons of fun doing it. The other thing is that we kind of started to organize all our CDK projects into a single GitHub org. Hopefully that's going to make it easier for people to track what we're doing and discover new things. And the last thing is that we started doing this big survey to learn about CDK usage. There's a GitHub issue here with a link inside to the survey. We would love anyone who's interested to contribute and let us know what they think. One of the primary things we're trying to focus on is how can we improve the documentation, because we know the documentation has problems, and so we want to understand what would help. We're not sure. We're really not sure. Okay. Last one is directions for 21, 22. Again, projects that we're thinking about, ideas. Some of them are more concrete than others. First one is CDK testing. There was a really good talk about CDK testing today, and we know that that's one of the primary benefits of using the CDK for defining your infrastructure. And we want to give a comprehensive experience for all the languages to support unit testing and integration testing and component testing and pipeline testing. Obviously, that's going to be an incremental process, but we really are interested to make sure that there's a really awesome experience for testing the CDK stuff. The other thing that we're looking into is we acknowledge the problem of iteration speed. We all know that redeploying your stack every time you make a little change in your Lambda function is not the ideal way to do it. And so we're looking at shortcuts and some creative ideas on how to improve that iteration cycle, because we know that that's our bread and butter as developers. We are aware of some things that make it harder for enterprises to adopt CDK, especially in enterprises where there's a stricter role division between infrastructure or networking people and security people and app developers and cloud center of excellence people, and rolling up multiple hundreds of accounts and things like that using stack sets or control tower. And so there's a theme around making the CDK more accessible to the mainstream enterprise crowd. And again, make sure to let us know if one of your use cases is not being filled. We're looking into kind of launching this program called CDK Contributors Program, which is a direction to be more intentional about working with contributors. We have incredible contributors, which we just like love and cherish and salute every day, but we feel that we've been very reactive about it instead of like saying, hey, here are things that we need help with. And we think that by being more proactive, we're going to be able to accelerate the CDK development and do more of the right things, as opposed to just like random things that people come and decide that they want to contribute. And also, celebrate contributors, make sure that they're acknowledged, make sure that people are aware that they're part of this community. I talked about documentation improvements, the ecosystem of construct libraries, hand in hand in like releasing Construct Hub. We want to make sure that the ecosystem is growing in the right way, and that there's like cool and healthy projects in that ecosystem. So basically creating a program to help construct library authors and make it easier for them to publish their libraries and make them predictable. And other things are thinking about constructs a little bit more, maybe as more of a programming primitive and not just as a base class, if you will, because we are seeing this general purpose use of it, and so we're looking into something in the more of the research experimentation level here. And as I said previously, we're maybe looking at productizing Progen. Again, it depends on whether we're able to get some funding, and but we're still obviously maintaining it and trying to do whatever we can with the current investment. Okay, next steps, I guess, just call for action is, I wrote this really big because I think that, this is something that we're trying to like improve as a community. We need your signal to make decisions more and more as the project grows and evolves. Without that signal, we're flying blind. And so +1 everything you care about. Go to the RFC's repo, go to the CDK repo. When you search for things, make sure that we know that you need something, and then that will really help us make decisions. Try out CDK for Go. Take CDK survey for a spin. Join Construct Hub Dev and CDK Dev if you're interested to collaborate with us on Construct Hub. And last but not least, just continue to be awesome, and please don't hesitate to tell us what you think. I know that you don't, which is incredible, but I'm really, really, really thank you for being this amazing community. That's it.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Elad. We really appreciate it, giving us a good key on that, and we'll make sure links and everything are spread around. We have Eric, our Sam Squirrel. He's joined us back again from track 1. Right. Welcome back.
Yeah, wouldn't be a CDK day without Sam the Squirrel in it. So,
yep. Well, now Pancakes and Sam are playing better than ever.
That's right.
So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. If anybody wants to close or say anything, and now is the time.
Someone just asked where they can get this costume. They can have mine. So
no,
there you go. There's the answer.
You don't want his. That thing smells so bad.
Oh, okay, yeah. We're getting off topic here.
A big round of thanks to our speakers and also to the interpreters on both tracks. They have been doing a phenomenal job. And for us as people who are running the hosts, we have to show our face for like 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, and then we can just hide behind. You can relax. Unfortunately, for the interpreters, they're like so actively going about it. It's not really easy. So big round of thanks to everyone, and of course Matt as well for running things behind the scenes for the official video producer of the series.
Indeed. All right, everybody. Mirabella, anything?
Same as Satya. Thank you, everyone. I was actually following the Twitter as well, and there's a lot of people that are tweeting about the interpreters as well. They're saying that it's such a good addition to this year. So many thanks, Hillary, Jonathan. Thank you to EJ as well. We know we haven't really seen you on this track, but welcome to our track as well.
Yeah, nice. It's nice here. It's nice here.
Yeah. Thanks,
The water's
Dima,
cool.
Elad. We don't have the other Matt on this track either, but many thanks to the other Matt and thanks to the rest of the team as well. It's nice to see this actually happening. And obviously, thanks
Yeah.
for the chat.
Agreed.
And for
Yeah,
everyone
amazing,
that's
amazing work.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, good night, whatever it is for you. And we will see you at the next CDK day.
Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.